Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some things that are on everybody's mind on a pretty routine basis when they talk to any kind of doctor, whether it be chiropractor, MD, DO, any specialty within the medical field. We just wanted to spend a little bit of time kind of jumping on to some of these things, especially regarding the cost of healthcare. Um, as many of you know, we did do a transition over to a cash practice about a month ago. There were some very specific reasons that we did this, and hopefully some of these things can help kind of dispel some of the rumors around chiropractic care and the cost, as well as what we can do on the aid for people with musculoskeletal issues. Today, we're kind of going to focus on back pain. There's a mountain of other things that we can do. Anybody that's been in my office knows that back pain is only a small percentage of what we work on. I mean, anything, if it has muscle attached to joint, more than likely we can make a benefit on it. So we're just going to go ahead and jump on in. So as a country, the United States is spending over 1.5 times any other country in regards to healthcare. So this is a huge number when you start thinking about the scale of how much healthcare costs. So on this is a little bit of an old number right here, as you can see. But as of 2009, 17.3% of our gross domestic product, so everything that the U.S. does, is healthcare. All right, the number, the last that I just saw was 18.5 as of 2016. I haven't seen a 2017 number yet, and obviously 18's numbers are still going. So we're looking at almost 20% of everything that we make is going into healthcare at this point. What does that mean for you as a patient? Right now, as of 2010, we're looking at $8,400 per year spent in healthcare per person. Now, that number has also increased. The 2016 number that I saw, these slides were just better laid out than what the 2016 numbers was at $9,700 per month or per year. That's a substantial amount when you start looking at it. Now, these numbers include your health insurance costs. They include the amount that you spend going to the doctors and things like that, paying copays and deductibles and all those kind of issues. So let's go ahead and jump on into this next one. So we're going to talk specifically about musculoskeletal cost, okay? So with the aging population, with people trying to get more active, with the research that's out there, people trying to live a little bit better and healthier life, the musculoskeletal costs are increasing every day. We are looking at 5.2% of the national gross domestic product. So remember, we said that it was 18% right now of all of our healthcare, or all of our gross domestic product is on healthcare. So of that 18%, a quarter of it is for musculoskeletal care. So just keep that in mind when we're talking numbers here. These get pretty big. So this was 2013. I could not find a newer version of this. So we look at the total number these are billions with a B, on how much we're spending on each of these issues. So right here, you've got ill-defined conditions. So that's basically your diagnostic stuff. Nobody knows what's wrong with me. Let's try and figure it out. Then circulatory issues. So you're talking heart disease. Okay, I mean, big shocker there. Number 3, musculoskeletal, right behind it. I mean, it is right there at $190 billion a year for just musculoskeletal care. A huge chunk of this is spine. Okay, it's estimated that 70% of people will have spine issues in their life. Being a chiropractor, I would say that that's actually pretty close. Then we start looking at some of these other issues. We start looking at respiratory, endocrine, nervous system, injury and poisoning. There's a lot of different areas of this. Like I said, today we're going to be mainly talking about spine and injury care. However, as a chiropractor who really has tried to lay my hat in the sports and fitness world, there's so many of these other issues that we can make an impact on. Imagine the change that you can make if your doctor looks at you and says, these are the things that we're going to do to affect your pain. These are the things that we're going to do to help get you better. But then we start saying, what are you doing for exercise? What does your diet actually look like? Because if it just says, I'm trying to eat better, I can guarantee you that is a clear road to failure. Okay. If you don't have some very specific goals laid out for your exercise, for your family time and stress relief, for your diet and what you're doing to make those lifestyle changes, the research has shown time and time again, we have to have very clear and present goals. And if you do that and you build a support system around you, with whether that be your gym family, whether it be nutrition counseling, whether and I would throw in the doctors that you choose to work with, all of those, that family that you build is how we drop these numbers. This family that we have is how we make sure that chronic disease gets knocked down to the lowest point that it's been. It's how we keep healthcare costs under control, because so many of these issues plaguing the United States right now. The reason we spend 1.5 times more than every other country is because we have these chronic lifestyle diseases that have overtaken our country. I think I have it on a future slide, but 70% deals with obesity here in the United States. I have hit that. I was definitely a part of that issue. My family has been hit with that issue, and it usually shows up with circulatory issues, diabetes. A lot of, it's been shown that cancer can be linked to it. So think of all these things that we can start doing if we start looking at a whole a whole body of healthcare, as opposed to, okay, I tore my shoulder, I need to go see this guy. Okay, I have high blood pressure, got to go see this guy. I've got this, I've got to go do this. How can we kind of look at it from a whole body point of view, put it together in an office? I'm not saying that there is not a need for specialists. There absolutely is. If I fall down and I break my arm into 4 pieces later today, you better take me to the emergency room. I better get good meds, and I better have the best surgeon to help put it back together. However, in the United States, we do not have a healthcare system. We have a very, very good sick care system. We take care of sick people better than almost anybody in the world. Unfortunately, we wait until they're sick to do anything about it. This is why our numbers are so high. So let's take a look at this just in regards to back pain. So it's approximately 50 to 85% of the population will experience low back pain at some point in their lives. That's a very wide range. I would honestly say it's probably 3 out of 4, just with what I have seen. Here's the interesting thing. This was put out by Optum, who works with insurance companies, and they help look at healthcare affordability. These are the guys that are trying to make it cheaper on insurance companies to function. So the numbers that they're going to put out are going to be things that benefit lowering healthcare costs, because that allows insurance companies to make more money. Okay, insurance companies are in the business of making money and building their business. So it was really cool when you look at this recommendation. When a back pain patient's first visit is with a physical therapist or chiropractor whose clinical decision making is aligned with current clinical evidence, the severity adjusted total episode cost, including all treatment provided by any provider in any setting, is approximately 30% lower than the overall average of total episode cost for treatment of back pain. All right, let's break that into normal people speak. What this means is if you go see a chiropractor or a physical therapist who is trained in what they do well, and they are able to figure out what is theirs and what is not, which is a hallmark of what I try to do in my office, this number, the 30% lower, takes into account all cost of that care. So if you go see that chiropractor, that physical therapist, they do a couple visits and they say, you know what, I think you need something a little bit more aggressive. And they send you to a surgeon, they send you to a pain management. That cost that is in there is put into this number. So that 30% lower includes any care after you see those. Here's the bigger issue though. Only 11% do this. Only 11% of people presenting with that spine pain, their initial visit is with a physical therapist or chiropractor. Why is that if it's 30% lower? Okay, so these are the things that we're talking about. How can we lower the cost of healthcare? How can we make it more affordable for people to get the treatment that they need? So, spine pain. Spine pain is a mechanical pain. It responds better to mechanical treatment rather than chemical treatment, such as painkillers, muscle relaxants, and anti-inflammatories. This is very, very clear in the literature. It is black and white. In about 80 to 90% of headaches, neck pain, and back pain, compared to the traditional model, patients get excellent results with chiropractic. It's safe, more cost-effective, decreases the chances of surgery, and reduces the chances of becoming disabled. I really don't know who is going to say that they want a different option than that. 80 to 90%. Let's get real about this. That is a better success rate than Tylenol with less results, or with less complications, okay? These are actually working on fixing the issue, where if we are looking at over-the-counter medications and things like that, they are a Band-Aid to get you to someone to fix it, okay? So we have to work on getting that preventative mindset. That preventative mindset is so huge. If we can jump on something when it's little, it is so much easier and faster to take care of an issue. So much easier. I tell patients every single day, the faster I see you, the faster you're getting better. Okay? Because the longer things go, you start to have chronic inflammation build. You start to see chronic muscle spasm take effect. You start to see neurological symptoms. You start to see all these things that stick into your care that lengthen treatment time. If we can get someone faster, we have two things. Number one, we have to say, is this me? If this is me, great, we're going to treat it and we're going to get you in and out as quick as humanly possible. But we're also going to make sure that we rehab the heck out of that joint to make sure that you have none if minimal issues in the future. And you also understand, anything kicks up, I'm going straight to the office. We're getting it fixed up when it's this big, not when it turns into a room-sized problem. Okay? Here's some actual numbers. We're talking about that number of talking about chiropractic and physical therapy versus other traditional medical means of care. This study was done by JMPT, which is a very well-respected research facility, and they work on the musculoskeletal area. So at a 99% confidence interval, so that means they're very sure that this is what it is. When you look at the people that go to see a chiropractor for back pain, it is $643 to $1,059. Okay, so we're looking at sub $1,000. When someone chooses the medical route as their first visit, we are looking $2,170 to $3,572. Okay, that is a huge spread. I mean, that is 3 times the amount right there. The other one showed a 30% decrease. This particular article, significantly more than that. The one thing the research is clear on, it costs less and the long-term results are better, okay? Like I said, I am not against any of these specialists. I refer to them on a daily basis. If something is not me and it is too far gone, I want my patients in that office. We have some fantastic spine guys in this town. We have some fantastic orthopedists in this town. We have some fantastic pain management people in this town. But let's use them when it's needed, okay? If you look at a entry-level care and we're looking at these people as opposed to jumping to the biggest hammer in the room, let's make sure that if you need some rehab, you need some chiropractic care, you need some manual therapy, let's get to those providers first. Let's make sure that we knock out these small things before they turn into big things, okay? So I just wanted to kind of run through these kind of things here today. If y'all have any questions, please don't hesitate to PM me or give us a phone call. My number's up here on the top side up here. The one thing I did want to show, a resource that I put out for anybody out there. This is not something you have to put an email for. You don't have to give us any information for it. You can just go on here, go to our website, EnduranceChiro.com, click on the menu up here, and you're going to see an injury prevention tab. This is something that I put together working with a lot of gyms, but it works for almost anybody. We have 3 articles here. I'm working on putting more out every day. So we have our foundational strength series, okay? So we have our lower extremity foundations. This is for dealing with people with weakness in ankles, knees, hips. This really works with low back pain as well. It's some really good stretching and some exercise protocols. Obviously, with any of these programs, if you are having pain with these movements, go see your doctor, okay? I do not want people having pain doing any of this stuff. When we're talking about weighted things, I really like kettlebells to help people move and to build strength more effectively. And so keep it light. I mean, start with one of those little 8-pound kettlebells, okay? Keep it light. So we get your lower extremity, your upper extremity foundational class. And then this one right here is an article that I wrote for Metcon magazine about core strength. This is a fun little look at how to build some core strength as opposed to just saying, go do some crunches. Okay. Hopefully you guys will get some benefit out of this. Remember, it's EnduranceChiro.com. We have a few other things on there, but feel free to take a look around. So if you'll have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here, and hope you guys have a blessed day. Have a wonderful one.